For centuries, people have clung to the idea that righteousness leads to heaven, that after death, the soul floats upward into a celestial paradise, reunited with loved ones, rewarded with eternal bliss. Christians speak of meeting Yeshua face to face. Muslims describe gardens of pleasure and virgins awaiting the faithful. But none of this, none, is found in the Torah. Let's be clear, the Torah never promises heaven as a reward. It never describes a post-death destination where souls ascend to live forever. Instead, it roots our purpose in the physical world. Heaven and earth were created simultaneously, Genesis 1 verse 1, not as a hierarchy, but as a duality. And our mission? To bring God's presence down into this world, not escape up into another. Torah versus theology. What's actually written? The Torah warns us explicitly, "You shall not add to the word which I command you, nor shall you subtract from it." Deuteronomy 4 verse 2. Everything I command you, you shall be careful to do. You shall not add to it or take from it. Deuteronomy 13 verse 1. These aren't poetic suggestions, they're legal boundaries. Once you add doctrines, reinterpret commandments, or override divine instruction, you've broken the covenant. And that's exactly what later traditions did. The New Testament, while claiming to extend Jewish scripture, violates this principle repeatedly. It borrows language from Torah, then adds new theology, new characters, new promises. Even Revelation 22 verses 18 and 19 warns against adding or subtracting from scripture. But Torah said it first. So, if the New Testament echoes that warning while breaking it, the contradiction speaks for itself. The prophet Samuel, a scriptural case study. Let's take Samuel, a prophet, a judge, a man of God. If anyone deserved heaven, it was him. Yet when King Saul summoned him through the medium at En-Dor, Samuel didn't descend from heaven. He rose from the earth. 1 Samuel 28. That's not metaphor, that's scripture. His resting place wasn't a celestial throne. It was the earth. And that aligns with Torah's silence on heaven as a reward. The righteous are remembered, not relocated. The real mission, sanctifying earth. Judaism teaches that we're judged by deeds, not beliefs. Not by how well we imagine the afterlife, but by how we elevate this life. The concept of Olam Haba, meaning the world to come, exists, but it's not a gated cloud community. It's a continuation of purpose, not a reward for belief. The physical world isn't a test to escape, it's the stage for divine partnership. God didn't create earth as a waiting room for heaven, He created it as the arena for holiness. Our job is to invite Him here, not ascend to Him there. A note on Islamic doctrine. Islamic tradition speaks of paradise filled with pleasures, including virgins for the faithful. But if the soul is spiritual, how does it engage in physical acts? If heaven is divine, why promote sensual reward? The contradiction is glaring. It's not a judgment. It's a question of coherence, why the first 5 books matter, and why we reject additions. In synagogue, we read the Torah, the first 5 books. Not because the others lack sanctity, but because these 5 were directly dictated by God to Moses. They weren't inspired in the way later texts were. They were authored, word for word, by the divine. Every letter, every commandment, every nuance came from the source itself. The remaining books, Psalms, prophets, writings, are sacred, yes, but they are prophetic reflections and historical revelations. They build upon the Torah, never contradict it. They are commentary, not covenant. And while they enrich our understanding, they do not redefine the foundation. Only the Torah holds that status, unchanged, unchallenged, and untouchable. That's why Judaism doesn't accept the New Testament. It contradicts the Torah's laws, rewrites its covenants, and introduces doctrines that violate the commandment. You shall not add to the word which I command you, nor shall you subtract from it. Deuteronomy 4 verse 2. The Quran, while claiming reverence for the Torah, also diverges. It introduces sensual rewards, altered narratives, and theological constructs that distort the original message. The idea of spiritual souls engaging in physical pleasures, like virgins in paradise, is not just incoherent. It's incompatible with the Torah's understanding of the soul and divine purpose. And yet, the Torah does anticipate this. It warns of future nations and ideologies that will arise, claiming divine authority while twisting the truth. It doesn't name Christianity or Islam, but it describes the pattern. For they will say, "Let us go and serve other gods. Gods that you have not known." Deuteronomy 13 verse 7. A prophet or dreamer may arise, but you shall not listen to him. Deuteronomy 13 verses 1 to 3. Judaism doesn't seek converts. That's not our mission. Our role is to live the truth, preserve it, and be a light to those who choose to seek it. And even then, we don't rush to accept them. We test sincerity. We measure commitment. Because truth isn't marketed, it's earned. Both Christianity and Islam began with fragments of truth. They taught monotheism. They echoed moral law. But over time, they added, subtracted, and reinterpreted until the original message was buried beneath layers of theology. That's not evolution, that's corruption. So, we return to the Torah. Not because it's old, but because it's untouched. Not because it's familiar, but because it's divine. And we keep the conversation open, because distortion never sleeps, and truth never retires.